I think they can still pick it up. I think the plot for just a dystopian alien species taking over.
Yeah.
I think
No,
that
that
still
was
has a
great.
lot of juice to it.
Hell yeah, that was great. I really love the first movie. Um, all right, so Greenshford, go ahead and tell everyone to refresh. I'm actually in Decentraland. I'm going to share this link with everyone. We are all here in DCL, and we got a ton of stuff to discuss. All right, so how's everyone doing? Hopefully, I haven't been paying attention to what's been going on in the markets. Too many moving targets right now for us to really pay attention to what's going on. So definitely, if there's anything that we should know what's happening, type it into the chat. I'm curious. Iman can't join us today because he's got a lot of stuff to take care of, but he should be back. What is it? I guess Monday. So we are switching our MetaZone call from Fridays to Meta Mondays. I guess the reason why we're doing that is because we want to try and test a couple of things, and we want to see, maybe Mondays are better. And plus, I think it makes more sense that way because we like to talk about our architects and designers out there, and we want to talk about them before their actual drop on MetaZone. So I think it makes more sense that way. And if not, definitely let us know in the chat that if you prefer it on Fridays, make some noise. Other than that, I think we're going to stick with Mondays, at least for the foreseeable future. So I've updated all the events in Decentraland, as well as, I guess, our tweets and everything. So everything's been updated. So yeah, make sure you join us on Monday for the MetaZone call. So, but yeah, Meta Drop Mondays. Feed is alive in DCL. Cool. All right, so we are good to go. Just checking a couple of things. All right, so Greenshford. So give me some I guess your perspective on the latest changes with Rovi, dude. We haven't spoken in a little while, at least live, at
Yeah, it's
least.
been a bit.
Yeah, so tell me, what do you think about the update so far with the hologram and like shared experiences with Rovies? Like, tell me your thoughts.
I think it's super cool. I think first of all, it brought the community together a lot more. Like the community started getting a lot more active. I like you're randomly running into people. Like I don't know if like if other people were running into you guys, but
Yeah.
like I kept running into like other people everywhere I went.
Yeah.
Just because I wanted to check out different locations, right? And I was noticing like a lot of people that I normally wouldn't see, even from the community, on like times when there's no call going on,
Yeah.
right? Like when there's a call going on, sure, everybody has they're all collected here, right? But just random times of the day, it was just awesome to see, just like passing by.
Hell
It's like,
yeah.
oh hey, well, it's like it's cool.
So you're seeing, I guess, random people just show up during random times, like non-call times, and
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they've spawned their Rovi.
yeah,
Nice.
it's like a yeah, exactly, like running into your community members, like I was finding random events. Like remember that time I ran into you guys? You guys were how like showing off your the
Oh
tower.
yeah, 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 yeah. That was pure
That was
random.
those. It was pure randomness. I literally was at Allen's before,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, oh, this is fun. I'm gonna go there, and it's just like, and after that, I went to like Third Eyes, and there's like another thing going on there.
Yeah.
Super super fun. It's been super 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 engaging this entire week, just because we're finally able to do something with these Rovies, right? We've been
Yeah.
sitting on them for a while. It's so much fun to play with them.
Yeah, man. So here we're at Third Eye's location. He decided to stack his building twice in a row. Looks badass. His Club Rovi. I guess we'll find out what he intends to do, like ultimately with these buildings. But yeah, man, this looks crazy awesome. And obviously, you can tell that there's a bunch of Rovi stuff deployed in here. But Greenshford is a master in like designing these like experiences. So shout out to Greenshford. You are doing an amazing job. As a matter of fact, we joined the little club. What was it? Man, I can't even remember like when we joined, but there's a ton of people there. We recorded a bunch of tweets with Greenschfer and like everybody there. It was amazing. And then everybody was like, showcasing their Rovies as well. And the music, the live artist that was there was great. So yeah, man, shout out to Third Eye for setting all this up, man. This is crazy cool. All right, so let's see. There's a couple of things to go over today. So first of all, we have how many hologram metas are here? There's like 9, 6. Yeah, I think there's like 9 of them in here. So there's an update that I want to tell you guys about. Yeah, Oscar, it messes things up when I click that button. So it's a little weird, but it's fine. I mean, it's the same people that are in that little, I guess, domain in Discord is in the call, so we're good. So kind of moving on to some updates. So digitized daily double earnings is now per location instead of per hologram. So there was a bunch of questions when, let's say, for example, we're at Third Eye's location and there's like, let's say 6 or 9 of these hologram metas. The question is, well, what if I clicked on each one and digitized each one? Can I like earn 10 times as much if there's a bunch of hologram metas? Well, the answer is no, because you can only digitize once per land, or at the very least, it counts as one hologram meta. So I'm not sure if you can digitize your Rovi multiple times, at least visualize it multiple times, but even if you could, it's you're only earning at a single rate. So I think it makes more sense that way. There's no way it makes sense to digitize your Rovi and earn multiple times. So that's an update, sort of back end stuff that we decided to do. So yeah, there's that. Let's see.
I had a curious question about that.
Yeah, sure.
You know how you were saying you can digitize your Rovi once per land, at least? Like, is there going to like, are we going to be able to like get multiple Rovis out? Like, even like, I know we're supposed to have like 3 Rovis in a party.
Yeah.
But let's say, like, because I was noticing, I was trying to like actually like feel the gameplay, right?
Yeah.
And actually see what the grind feels like. So I was actually like mentally torturing myself.
Yeah.
But it was fun. But I noticed, like, having one Rovi out on one land, it's working. But then you have nothing to do except for just like watching it or doing something else.
Sure.
I was saying like maybe for just for consideration, maybe you could go to like another parcel where there's another hologram, and if you have another Rovi that is not already deployed, it could also get out and be like, okay,
yeah.
But then you have the responsibility of actually like managing all your Rovis, because after 10 minutes everything will reset, right?
Sure.
So you have to keep going to each parcel and keep managing, right?
Yeah.
But that would be, like, in my opinion, a better evil than just like standing there or like doing something else.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I think the intended design is that you'll be able to delegate these Rovis to other bodies, and so they'll be able to at least digitize your Rovi on your behalf, and then they're going to earn on your behalf, right? And you're going to share in that lube in this case. So yeah, that's the intended goal. Now, I think, like for example, we have all these hologram metas. I think there needs to be, which, I think this makes sense. There needs to be a UI where you can click on an individual hologram and it'll give you a list of which Rovis to digitize. And then you click on your first Rovi. And then you click on the next hologram meta and you digitize the next one. So I think the only implication with that is you'll have to click on each Rovi in order to interact with them. Because if you just wave, maybe if you wave, all of them wave back, and so then in a single click you can manage essentially 10 different Rovis, but who knows? So but I think that's a good point though. If we can have this interface that allows you to select which Rovis, it'll at least give something you guys to do and kind of interact in a deeper way with the Rovies. But this is like a kind of like a stopgap, right? This is like part 1A of multiple first steps in order to get this game kind of off the ground. So yeah, I think this is a good question, good thought for sure. All right, let me see if I'm going to kind of miss a lot of the stuff going on in the chat here. All right, so next up. Okay, so next up is, all right, so we have info text above hologram is now more descriptive. So let's take a look at that. Let me see if I can kind of zoom in here. Okay, so land and meta. I don't remember if it said L or M, but I guess land and meta, it'll basically the landowner is earning 112 lube in this case, and then the meta owner is collecting 250 lube in this particular hologram's case. So I think it's pretty self-explanatory. If it's not, definitely let us know in the chat. DCL Avatar can now do emotes while riding a Rovi. So I noticed that during the party that Third Eye was through the other day, people were riding the Rovi, and in some cases, those people that were riding the Rovi weren't actually dancing. And so I guess Oscar made that update. So yeah, now you can dance on top of your Rovi. So that's cool. Now, Rovi icon UI now displays list of hologram locations and digitized or not. Oh, this is cool. All right, so let me click on this guy here.
We call it Rovi surfing.
Rovi surfing. Okay, daily holograms. All right, so let's see. So we have the tower, and I see all these other locations. I don't know if my guy is digitized. That's probably the issue. So let me click on one of them. I'm going to click on this guy. All right, here we go. Ooh, shout out. All right, let's see if it's going to, I think it's showed up now. Let's get rid of this. All right, let's see. Okay, let's let that load for a second and continue on with the list here. All right, so the biggest update here is we've been working on this dashboard for the Rovi website where you'll be able to manage your delegates, and you can delegate your Rovis to an ETH address. And so through that dashboard, you can kind of manage who has your Rovi, and then you can switch out, the delegates at any point in time. So yeah, that's going to be huge. I don't think we have anything to show on that. I've seen the early builds of it, and it looks great. I mean, it's fantastic, but it's not finished and it's not really usable just yet. There's like a huge list of people interacting with their hologram metas, and so it's a bunch of data, and so we got to convert that data into information, and so you'll see that in a really clean dashboard. Hopefully we can get that done next week. And so that way you guys can start using it. So yeah, that's a huge one. So the profile summary of today's lube earnings, unclaimed gears and gears holdings, and shows all your Rovi assets with easy delegate buttons, specify delegate and manager address. So you'll be able to delegate not only to a person or an ETH address, but you'll be able to delegate your holdings to a manager, and that person will be able to delegate, as they see fit. So that's going to be cool. Yeah. So now you have a manager kind of, deciding what to do with your Rovi. Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So view daily earnings as a list, shows date, time spent, final lube count, and gears earnings. So this is all part of the dashboard. So that's what we're talking about here. Claim gears button converts off-chain gears to consumable gears, so off-chain during alpha. So everything that we're doing right now is off-chain, but the experience is going to be no different whether it's off-chain or on-chain. So once we move on-chain, It's going to be the exact same experience. Okay, holograms. Yeah, so pretty good, right?
Yeah, awesome, man. That's so awesome.
All right, so holograms with a meta. Oh, so holograms with a meta home get a boost. Okay, here's another thing that we've been discussing, kind of I guess offline, is that we're sort of trying to encourage people to mix and match a bunch of content. And so the way that we do that in this particular example is if you have a hologram meta and you have, let's say, a building as a meta, if you put that hologram meta inside that building, the hologram will give you an additional level up boost. So a +1 boost on your hologram meta. So potentially you can maximize your hologram meta to level 20, take that level 20, put it inside of a meta building, and you'll get to level 21, which is the max cap, right? So that's another gamification thing that we're thinking about implementing. But yeah, so at least at the very minimum, if you have a meta building and you have a hologram meta, just merge the two, and then you got +1 all day. Okay, so all right. Hologram must be inside the building, and then boost will be +1. Only one hologram gets the boost per meta home. So if you have, the 10 in here inside a meta, you only get +1 on only one of them. And then once the dashboard is out with claiming gears, we'll roll out some gear syncs, starting with the hologram upgrading. So next meta drop is the Fabricator meta gear sync to craft accessories. And then we'll figure out when that date is going to be set. So yeah, biggest thing here is we're going to start the syncs with the hologram upgrading, and then finally the Fabricator drop will be imminent soon after that. So yeah, making huge progress. Thank you guys for being here. Of course, we got Popes to give away, and we're going to be giving away 3 accessory Rovi NFTs and 1 backpack. So one thing I do want to talk about, let me see if I can pull this up real quick. There we go. So Pepe God is putting up a pretty big event. I'm going to share.
Pepe's a goat.
Yeah, right?
He's a goat, man. He's going to help me make my builds better and stuff. He's actually an amazing person, man.
Dude, hell yeah, man. That's what I like to hear. People helping each other out. All right, so I'm going to share this YouTube link from Pepe God, and then one more for the event. So definitely attend this event. Go ahead and put it on your calendar already. There's going to be some Rovi backpack giveaways for this event. And yeah, let's show some support for Pepe God. He's got a badass build. It's a Rovi inspired quest. And yeah, so we're going to be pushing this through our Discord, our tweets, Instagram. Do we have a Rovi? Oh, we're building a Rovi Instagram, by the way. So we'll share those links as well. Yeah, no problem, Pepe God. Yeah, appreciate you putting up this event. So that's another thing we want to encourage. Eventually, when a lot of these components are completed and everything, we want everyone to start creating events around this and encourage people to come in and play, right? So yeah, this is kind of like the early beginnings of that.
I've already started chilling to my friends.
Oh, yeah?
I'm like, yo, you guys just chill in Discords all day, might as well come chill in the metaverse and have fun.
Yeah, and Pepe God, I'll do a proper shout out in our announcements with this information. That way everybody can see it. Yeah, and also meta camps, scaled out buildings count for the hologram boost. Yeah, for sure. So if you got a meta camp already, you already have your meta building, and if you got a hologram, you got a +1 right there. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna try to go back and see what I missed in the chat here. Yeah, if there are any questions, let's see. Third Eye. Yeah, what if we have a scaled down meta building located on the scene, still +1? So this, scaled down buildings count for a hologram boost. Yeah, so we're gonna I guess Oscar will have to chime in. Does the hologram meta need to be inside the building, or they just need to be deployed together? Does that count? I'm guessing it just needs to be deployed together. Melissa Sophia, where do I buy a Rovi? So right now you can only purchase a Rovi through the secondhand marketplace, like on OpenSea. That's the only place. Eventually we're going to open up the like the first party marketplace once a lot of this is completed. So keep attending the calls. We're going to be giving away a bunch of Rovi NFTs as we go through the development process. And then towards the end of the development process, we'll open up the rest of the Rovi, I guess, lot. So yes, stay tuned for that.
Will, I had a question about that.
Yeah, sure.
So we obviously have to finish that, but are we also going to like give like let the superchargers be sold too?
Okay, so yes, and well, let me think. I think we're gonna stop the transporters and the superchargers, if I remember correctly. So I think up to this point, that's the last of the superchargers and the transporters. Everything else sold from
Not even
here.
individually, like you could buy them separate.
I don't think so. And Oscar, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think you'll be able to buy them separately. So the only things you'll be able to buy, like from the first party marketplace, would be just a clean Rovi. So I think that's how it's at right now. Yeah, no
Okay.
problem, Melissa. Let's see. Yeah, Trey Waters, thank you for sharing that link. Super Tyler, Rovi. Rovi equals Rovi that won't stop dancing. Yeah. Okay, tranquilo. The loop for the land should be the same on All Hollows, or am I missing something? Correct. It's the same on All Hollows. The only difference between one hologram versus another is if it's just how many Rovies can spawn from a particular hologram. That's the only difference. Yeah. And then the landowner wants to have a leveled up hologram meta so to attract the most people, right? So that's the incentive. Okay, reading through chat here. All right, we're very close to issuing the Pope for you guys. Oscar shared a sneak peek. Let me actually download this and show it. Let me bring this up. So he showed a piece. Ah, here we go. So Greenshifter, you can see this.
Yeah.
We have, this is the dashboard. So this is going to be on the Rovi website, and so you have the store, marketplace, hologram, rooms, player earnings, and so this is what the dashboard, the homepage of the dashboard will look like. So it's pretty clean. Oscar's doing a fantastic job with like the entire design and everything. So I like it. I like the color scheme. I don't know. There's something about this, like, I don't know, peach, like burnt orange color in this dark background, man. It just looks clean. So yeah, hopefully next week we'll have some updates so you guys can actually use it and everything. So yeah, it looks good.
Looks crazy, man.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, we can dance. All right, let's see. Only good idea up to 3 Rovies. I feel unless delegated as well as saying. I think three total live per wallet address max is a great idea. Okay, so Third Eye is talking about your thought, Green Chauffeur, is that let's say you had 10 Rovies, and he's saying that 3 max per hologram would make the most sense. So yeah, I think the only thing that we need to do here is the user interface for Decentraland in order to make that happen. Which, if anyone has experience building a UI for Decentraland, for some reason it's difficult. It's not complicated, but it's difficult. So, but nonetheless, it can be done. It just needs to be done. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, so that's the updates that we have for today. The main things we're working on is that dashboard because I think it's absolutely necessary to give you guys the information that you guys need in order to make adjustments to which Rovies are currently deployed and which ones are not. And pretty soon we'll get that UI updated. Orange. Yeah. Alan Howick. Orange is an underused color. It looks good. Hell yeah. Orange was one of my favorite colors. I think it still is, to be honest. All right, grind junkies.
Orange is a beautiful color, bro. Have you ever seen a sunrise?
A few times.
A few times, right?
Okay, so Alan, I remember you hate the dope art exhibit spot in DCL. You need some Rovies over there. Yeah, man. Rovies will make any spot look dope. I'm just trying to get into controlling light effects with UI. Yeah, man. Dude, lighting is everything. You know how, in a movie, 50% of a movie is the sound, right? The sound, the music. The same thing with like 3D objects, modeling, all that. 50% of it is like the lighting. And so it is absolutely important. And if you guys were early in Decentraland, there was a time where you sort of had to bake in the lighting effects, which is a common practice, but it was like something that was like an old school type of practice, is that you have to bake in the light. And so when Decentraland made an update to where there was like a day and night cycle, that baked in light was kind of weird at night, right? Everything was still bright. And so then they had to make some updates to the engine that they were implementing, and all of a sudden now they have sort of dynamic lighting in Decentraland. It's very subtle, but it's there. Okay.
It's hard, man. It's I haven't even gone to lighting. Like, I'm still so new to Blender and all that.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah, talk
lighting,
about that.
I'm not even worried about that at this point. I just want it to look just reasonably normal.
Yeah,
And,
talk about your experience with Blender. Like so far, like what did you do to start, and take us through that process.
So yeah, I don't know. I'd say I'm still really, really bad. Like, I haven't rendered a single object yet, just because, I don't feel that it's good enough to even, just move on. But like, learning it, I found it really challenging. Everybody says you start off with the donut tutorial and all that, but like, you get stuck really fast. And unless you're used to that whole mentality and just the whole grind of what a dev is used to, just like, oh, I got stuck. Okay, how do I find it? Google it, Reddit it, or that's not normal or like intuitive to just normies or just everybody. That's niche for like problem solvers.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. Like, I think in today's age, if you get stuck on anything, whatever it is, like a physics project to 3D modeling, whatever it is, everyone goes to YouTube. They, it's like all this information is out there. And so you have to be sort of, kind of be the person where you have to investigate and be hard-headed to like figure out this thing that you're stuck in. And then on top of that, you have to know the vocabulary, because if you're talking about like a texture on, this flat plane in Blender, you got to be able to identify all these like vocabulary words so that you can properly do the research. Because if you don't know the vocabulary,
you don't know what you don't know, then you can't even find out what you don't know.
Yeah, and so that's why it's so important to watch these videos, like all these tutorials, because they'll say the right vocabulary words, and then you can take that word and start Googling and narrowing down your search. So yeah, it's definitely a ton of work. But I mean, if you guys do any research on like what's happening with the metaverse and like these expectations and predictions, 3D modeling is going to be fundamentally important, as fundamental as like keyboarding on your computer or using Photoshop. Like Photoshop used to be like one of the more complicated applications back in the day. Now it's like it's a common skill to be able to Photoshop things, and eventually 3D modeling would be a common skill, because it's going to be that important, if you can imagine that.
That's wild. That's wild.
You
will had a question.
Yeah.
So how we're going to need 3D modelers for the Matrix, right?
Mm-hmm.
we're probably all we're probably also going to need SDK developers,
Oh, for
right?
sure.
Right. So like I noticed like Blender was still easier to access, like the repository for all the tutorials and all that.
Yeah.
It's still easy to access, but like SDK for Decentraland, even that is so hard.
Yeah.
Like my experience with trying to learn SDK is so bad right now. I literally downloaded the client to like type the code and all that.
Yep.
I couldn't even open it. I don't even know how to open it.
Yeah.
That's where I'm stuck right now.
Dude, I totally hear you, man. Oscar's gonna have to chime in here on like best, starting point if you want to start messing around with the SDK. But I think there's a lot of prior experience that goes into like running the SDK. Like you need to be able to know how to do that and not have like that part of the documentation always listed in every single place where there's an SDK. So yeah, it's definitely not easy if you're not like an experienced developer. But if you're an experienced developer and you hear SDK, you know automatically what to do. And so that's the piece that you're missing. So yeah, it just comes with experience.
No, not at all, third eye. I have like literally zero coding experience. I come from a
Yeah,
marketing background,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So I was just testing it. I just because it's so much fun.
yeah. All right, so let's see. I see I've done many tutorials for Blender. This is Pepe God, and have been doing 3D modeling a little over a year now. The most valuable thing that I did to improve was to get a tutor for specific problems I was having. So kind of like a mentor. Yeah, I think a mentor is sort of like Google on steroids. Instead of like
Yeah.
spending hours trying to figure out the vocabulary word, then you just ask the guys like, "Hey, I'm just trying to animate this leg. How do I, what am I doing wrong here?" Yeah, I actually I did some animations back in the day for one of the Ethermon, and I had to ask KJ Walker for some help. Man, I got stuck somewhere using Blender, and man, I spent so many hours Green for trying to figure out like why this leg was getting all wonky. And then I asked her,
She's really helpful, right?
yeah, she's great. And I asked her, and she's like, "Oh, that's because you forgot to turn on this thing and or that widget." And once I turned it on, it was like it worked. I was like, God damn it, man.
But it feels so good.
Oh
It's so
yeah,
satisfying. Well, it's so satisfying when it's
it
done. It's like, oh my God, this is my creation.
yeah. But man, it's definitely frustrating for sure. But I think that's part of the journey. So yeah, it was cool once it worked, but when it wasn't working, it was hell. All right, so let's see. Let's give away the Pope. All right, so same process as before. MetaZone bot, and don't worry, Greensphere, I'll send you yours after the call.
Thank you.
MetaZone bot. The password is lube up. Yeah, just send a direct message to this MetaZone bot that I just sent a message about, and DM him the password lube up. Miss Nara, oh no, why my Rovi run away? Uh-oh. Now, yeah. So we did a huge tweet, like a tweet thread, and we had Decentraland retweeted and all kinds of stuff. We were showcasing a lot of the community members like Trey and who else? P-Dub, Third Eye, like all the locations that had a bunch of Rovi stuff, and it was a big tweet. And so that took quite some effort from the team to collect and record all that information. So definitely check that out if you get a chance. All right, let me know if you got the Pope. Just take a snapshot of this guy. Yeah, what do you think of that Pope, dude?
Let me see. I haven't seen it yet.
That was yeah, there you go, Alan. This is another one of my favorite popes.
Dude, all your popes are my favorite popes. I swear.
Can you post a bot to message? Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah, this one's fire.
All right. That's the bot. I think we have two bots, so it could get a little confusing.
Yeah, I seen this one yesterday. This was crazy.
Yeah, Trey Waters, Great Pope. Yeah, this was.
Okay, yo, Will. Weird question. So, how does it work? You know how it just like appears and disappears?
What?
Like yeah, how you did your Pope? You did the background.
It appears and disappears. What do you mean?
Like it's like it's almost seems generative. Like you know how it's moving?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Oh, the background. How do I make the background move?
The way it's actually, never mind. Yeah,
Or
yeah.
it loops. The background just loops. So that's why it
Oh,
looks.
I
It looks
see, I
so
see, I
clean.
see, I see.
Yeah.
I think I understand. I think I understand. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. So kind of like the Rovi turns. I just have it synced in a perfect loop so that it's like as if it doesn't restart, right? But it's a GIF that restarts, but it's not obvious.
But the question I was basically asking, like, how did you get the background, the art in the background?
Oh, the art, yeah, yeah. So there's a couple locations that have like really cool free. I don't know I don't want to say open source, but they're like.
So you're not making it, right?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean,
Oh
if
my
I were
God. I'm
if
like,
I were to
yo,
make
how
this,
are you doing this every week and like still have sanity?
Yeah, if I were to make this, man, I'm telling you, it'd take an entire year to make whatever this thing in the background is.
Yeah.
No, but what I do is I find like these videos that have like a clean loop, and then I just use them. But these videos are royalty free and all that stuff. So yeah, it's just me kind of like layering a bunch of cool stuff together and then just deploying it. Like that's all it is. But man, if I were good, then I would like customize all this stuff, and I'd be doing very similar cool things like this, but do it customized. All right.
This is customized. This is sick.
Yeah, it's just a remix. It's a remix.
We can't ask for more, Will.
Yeah.
This is too good as is.
It's a remix of what's out there, and that's it's like music. It's all the same sounds. It's just kind of remixed. All right.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
Oscar,
true.
any consideration or thoughts revolving around Rovi's recognizing colliders in a DCL scene? Is that something we'll be able to look at in the future? So, yes, that's another important thing to kind of maintain that immersion is it's called raycasting. So raycasting allows your Rovi to like climb the stairs, make collisions into a wall, and not like walk through it or anything like that. So yeah, that's another thing that will be implemented, but it's not like the highest of priorities. But for sure, I think it's important. It makes it feel more a part of the world, and so yeah, that will be implemented eventually. Yeah, Third Eyes. That's correct. It's an animation. Jay Summers, you got your Pope. All right. Neb, so funny when they shove you out of the way. Yeah, when we were at the party at Third Eyes, the Rovies were punking everybody, kind of moving everybody
Yeah,
around.
that's true.
So yeah,
They're savages. They just push you out of the way. You'd be riding you'd be surfing your Rovi, and it would go into a corner. Another Rovi would come, and you'd be like, and now you're knocked off, and the Rovies go run off somewhere else.
Yeah, it was definitely a mosh pit in there. All right, Third Eye flexing his Pope arsenal. Yeah, man. I think who was it that was talking about popes getting more strict? I think I was reading it in the Decentraland Discord that I think the Pope team is starting to deny a lot. I wonder if Third Eye, was that you? Yeah, something about Pope team not issuing popes anymore or something like that. But yeah, they're getting tougher and tougher. I'm starting to get my own questions from the Pope teams, like, which bot are you using, and what are you guys doing with the popes? It's like, I don't know. People are attending, and I'm giving them proof of attendance. That's all that's happening.
So question. do you guys still want to pursue making your own MetaZone Pope bot?
Oh, the answer is
Or Pope dispenser, my bad.
yeah. The answer is not no. It's just a problem with bandwidth. That's the only issue. So hopefully we're gonna relieve that here pretty soon. But yeah, that's the intended goal. We want to be able to make a Pope dispenser that is easily deployable anywhere. And so like completely customized and maybe use your own GLB potentially instead of like just a static, dispenser looking thing. Yeah, Third Eye is saying Pope team is failing. They asked me if I have a list of attendees. What? What? List of attendees? Why? What's the point of proof of attendance if you can't like reward people for attending?
Next thing they're gonna ask KYC for all the attendees.
Yeah, man. It's weird. It's like I don't even understand why the Pope team even cares. Unless they're spending like millions of dollars a month just handing out popes, then I can see that being a problem. But they're using XDAI, so it can't be that expensive. And they raised a ton of money too. Let's see. Third Eye. Let's talk about a custom dispenser that doesn't use popes. Yeah, we talked about that, and Oscar can do this like in his sleep, right? Actually dispense, an NFT that's not a pope but acts in the same way. The problem is that it's not a pope. That's the problem. But could be a good thing because then you get away from the Pope cartel, right? That's a good thing. But it's not a pope, right? That's the issue. There's like a network effect to using popes. Yeah, Oscar was saying, I wanted to do this a long time ago. Yep. As a matter of fact, man, let me see if I can pull it up. All right. Pretty soon we're going to be giving away that NFT, so hang in there, guys. Let me see. I'm going to pull up my assets, and I'm going to show you. Let's see. Oh, man, I'm not logged in. Okay, here we go. I'm going to pull up my assets, and here's what Oscar's talking about. These two items here, the CZ art, these were intended to be like Pope competitors. And we had an event for Corona Zombies where if you showed up, you would get this real NFT, right? This is a Polygon asset. And it's just a token that you were there, that you were present. And it's easy for us to dispense these things, like, based on gameplay, right? Based on, a certain logic. So it's very easy for us to do this. But it's not a pope. So, that was the issue. That's kind of why we stopped it. So XDAI changed its name to Gnosis. Oh man, dude, I need to brush up on all these updates.
It's okay, Will. The good project will stand the test of time, and it doesn't matter if they change their name from Polygon to Matic or back and forth. They still.
Although you could argue that going from Matic to Polygon is what caused them to like explode, but then again, they sort of pivoted their business during that change, so I guess that's attributed to that. Alan Howick, the Pope people told me, judging by your social media footprint, we feel that 100 will be sufficient, or something like that. Yeah, I've seen that too, and I think 100 in a lot of cases is sufficient because they got all the metrics, right? All the people that are asking for popes, when they execute that event, like tens of popes get collected. So yeah, I just don't understand. If you ask for 1 million popes and only 10 get claimed, so what? I don't get it.
Yo, Will, weird question. Sure. Okay, you know how you guys were talking about people's liquidity a couple of weeks back?
Yep.
And we were touching that topic. How would we apply that
Oh,
thinking to our ecosystem?
it's such a good question. Okay, so people liquidity came from this team from Quest Gamers, and what they do is something pretty interesting. Like, you know how the metaverse is. I mean, if you do like deep research of the metaverse, there's a lot of prominent people talking about how the metaverse is going to be part of like a pillar in the financial ecosystem, right? There's people will go to the metaverse to go to work, right? That's how important the metaverse is, and because the metaverse is accessible via the internet, you have all kinds of people that can go to work, right? So this is a good thing, right? Good thing for humanity. So what they do, Quest Gamers, is they have like sort of a guild of guilds that collect a bunch of people who want to play games, or in this case, not only play games, but be part of the metaverse where they can earn money. So if you have some sort of activity where you press a bunch of buttons in Decentraland and you're issuing a cryptocurrency as a result, well, they're going to be there. Or like Decentral Games that used to have people in the casino answering questions, right? They would be those kind of people. So this is just about jobs in the metaverse in general. But what they do is they actually get every person that joins to KYC. So they prove that these are human people and not just bots, because as you might imagine, there's potential for for botting, right? Taking exploiting tokens or logic or whatever it is to gain the system, right? So so because they do KYC, then you know for sure, like if you're a project like MetaZone and you partner up with Quest Gamers, you know for sure that you're tapping into people liquidity. And so that's a huge value add to a project like Rovi or something like Ice Poker or Wonder Zone. All these are all potential partners, right, for Quest Gamers. So how do we tap into it? Well, there's a couple of ways. So there's like a technical way that we can work with Quest Gamers, but then there's like a less formal way where they just kind of bring on their people and they just get onboarded to the game. And then, Rovi whales such as yourself could delegate to those type of people. And, these are folks that you can trust. They're people that you can communicate with, or you have your manager communicate with them. It's totally up to you. And so that's sort of the idea. So how do we actually engage with them? I think it makes more sense to complete the game, and then we'll get to that point. But I'm in contact with them all the time. As a matter of fact, we want to bring them onto the podcast so we can ask them a bunch of questions. Right? The one of the earliest jobs in the metaverse is going to be play to earn. Eventually, it'll evolve to more sophisticated or more complicated stuff. But play to earn is going to be the first leg of the metaverse pillar. and then yeah, that's when Quest Gamers comes in. Okay, let's see. All right, let's give away some NFTs. All right,
That's pretty sick. Initially I thought people's liquidity was something completely different, but it in a sense it's literally people being the liquidity.
Exactly. Which is a big deal because Elon Musk is talking about this right now. He offered $44 billion for Twitter, and now
So
he's pushing on Twitter to say, how many human bodies are actually using Twitter versus bots, and Twitter is either not answering that question, or doesn't know the answer, or doesn't want to answer. So that's a huge problem, right? If 50% of all users on Twitter are bots, it's not worth $44 billion objectively. So that's why he's pushing back. But Twitter has bots. Decentraland can have bots. Games have bots. And there's an incentive to have bots, right? There's an incentive to exploit these games. And so having people liquidity is a big deal, right? You're minimizing exploitation. All right,
yeah,
give me a second
makes sense.
to kind of populate this bot here, and then we can get this going. All right, giveaway. All right, let's do 6 minutes. There's going to be 4 winners. Okay, Rovi backpack. All right, everyone check out the giveaway channel and interact with that bot. Okay, so you got 6 minutes. The first 3 people will get the accessory NFT for Rovi's, and the last one will get the Rovi backpack. So I was thinking about Pepe God, in regards to the backpack, and I think one of the ways to like share access to the distribution of the backpacks is to have the community set up a bunch of events, and then we'll set the backpack as the giveaway item for that event. And
for like prizes and stuff.
For prizes,
yeah.
Like
first prize gets like a backpack or something.
Exactly. Yeah, because we want to contribute to expanding like the events on everything with Rovi, but we can't do it all. So we want the community to set up events as well, and so we want to reward those people with backpacks.
I think that's awesome. Also, it'll incentivize. Now people have something to give out.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than just sitting there.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I'm just kind of reading through here.
Well, I don't know. I have a question. So, soon we're going to be able to do PvP and PvE as well, right? Yeah. I was curious about how we're going to be able to play. You know how right now we activate the Rovi and he just wanders off and he's earning lube. Yeah. You wave at him, he earns some more lube. I'm wondering if we're going to be able to control the Rovi, or at least I'm just curious. To be honest.
No, it's a good question.
How we're going to be able to interact with the Rovi for the battle.
Yeah. So right now, what we're experiencing for Rovi's is sort of the more social experience where eventually you can just kind of interact with your Rovi and people can see it and you can just kind of hang out and party as a party and earn, right?
Yeah.
Eventually, you're going to be able to submit this Rovi into a PvE and then a PvP. And so what you'll see at that point is likely another user interface where you can control the Rovi. And when I say control, I'm talking about the attacks. And so once you have that kind of user interface, you'll be able to attack the enemies around you or attack the opponent, right? The PvP battle. And then you'll be able to decide on the different moves, and then there's going to be cool animations to kind of visualize everything. And then on top of that, we want to encourage people to come and watch, right? Make it an event. And so spectate to earn is going to play a huge role with that, because people, let's say you have one of those rare Rovies, they want to watch you play. As they watch you play, they earn the lube, which eventually can translate into gears. And so there's going to be this whole ecosystem of support with this whole design.
No, that sounds awesome, man. That's what I wanted to know. Because the more interactive it is for the player with the Rovi, it just becomes more fun, and you're gonna want to spend more time there.
Yeah, 100%. So P-Dub asked a question. He said, I missed it. Is Quest Gamers just an example, or are we partnering up with them? They have a nice website. So we're in discussions with them. I think it's too early to partner with them just because we don't have a complete game. And so it would be, there's nothing for them to do essentially. So it doesn't make sense to partner up with them yet, but I like what they're doing. I think it's going to be one of those really important aspects to being depending on, actual people liquidity versus if you go into Ice Poker, which man, I love Miles. I love ice poker, everything. But to find people to delegate to in Discord, like it's not really sustainable. And so there's got
Yeah,
to
it is
be,
hard.
yeah, it's got to be a better way, an easier way. And so Quest Gamers really takes a lot of the effort away from that, which is a good thing, right? Because if you're a Rovi whale or an ice whale, you don't necessarily want to do the work to find, the 15 people to play your assets, right? So it's hard to do that, and it takes a lot of time.
Quest
So
Gamers is like a metaverse job bank.
yeah, they are the LinkedIn of the metaverse, right? And so that's a good plug. If you have a game, right? If you have some sort of I'd say a game, but some sort of job in the metaverse, and you want to trust the people that you hire to do that job, Quest Gamers is the way to do it. All right, Pepe God, Jawa stole the backpack. Yeah, you got to get it back. So yeah, again, Pepe, we're gonna be pushing those in tweets and Discord announcements and all that. So, okay. Uh, so Neb is saying to Dahlia, we need you live on the call. We need you live on the call, gorgeous one. And she says, I don't feel like I can contribute much. Maybe one day. Yeah, we're gonna have her on the call pretty soon. There's no worries on that. It's coming.
Yo, is it true that Dahlia created the Rovies?
No, she created some like designs of it, but
Yeah, like she was the art. Who created Rovies too?
it's like well, I think we came up with like initial designs, and we sort of use like just images that we found on the internet, and we took it to a 3D modeler, and we say, hey, can you kind of replicate this and but change it up, and then because of Oscar's engine that he created, it had to be designed in a way where all the pieces were separate, and then it kind of like snowballed from there.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. So Corvus saying spectate to earn job. Yeah, that's a job. Yeah. So if you have like 50 Rovies and you're going to attend an event, you're going to need bodies to like show up, and then you delegate to those people, and then all of a sudden you have 50 Rovies earning for you. Because you're not going to be able to do it yourself. There's no way. All right. Did somebody win already? Dang it. I think I missed it. Oh, look at that. Let's see. The claps. Super Tyler.
Hey!
Kenny, Sly,
Hey!
and Miss Naro. Congratulations. Miss Naro, you won the Rovi backpack. Super Tyler, Kenny, and Sly got Rovi accessory NFTs. All right. Let me DM me your ETH address. All right. Congrats, guys.
Congrats, everybody. It's lit.
Dude, Sly,
Oh,
man.
You know, like I've seen a lot of Discords do giveaways, but I don't think they're legit. I've participated in MetaZone's giveaways so many times, and I've actually won a few times. Well,
Yeah, you
and
have.
it actually makes me understand that those other giveaways are actually fake because I never win.
Yeah.
Right? So what's going on there, huh?
But you know what?
Those guys.
I think what's happening is this bot that we're using is like a very, very common bot. Like almost, all Discords have this bot. And so what happens is there's probably some sort of API call that these, scammers use to know that there's a Discord with this bot. So anytime that this bot gets activated, there's like some sort of signal. They flood that Discord, and then they just click on this, this giveaway. And so even though you may not be winning, it's probably because it gets flooded with bot clicks.
It does. You usually expect thousands.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and this is part of the problem. I mean, it's very difficult to solve. I mean, it's freaking everywhere: Twitter, Facebook, bots everywhere.
But it's very fundamental. If you can't even like reach your community and be able to reward them because they're getting taken away by bots, You know, it creates so much difference, like, you know, between
100%.
you and them.
Yeah, so eventually we're going to retire this bot, because eventually we're going to see bots in our Discord, which we're going to try to fight off. I mean, it's funny, we have Rovies as bots, but then we have bad bots, right? But
But Rovies are the bots we love.
yeah, right.
Yeah, man.
So what we'll do is we'll probably use the popes as the giveaway mechanism every single week. So eventually we'll transition to that. And I mean, it takes some effort to stand it up every single week, but nonetheless, I think it's better to do it that way. But yeah, so that's been the update on Rovi. Thank you, Greenshfer, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. So every week we gather to discuss the latest in Rovi updates, this distributed play to earn game in Decentraland. We still got a metaverse to build with Rovi, and so this metaverse is going to be accessible via your cell phone. You don't have to have a super rig to play in Decentraland, and so definitely stay tuned for our Mondays call called Meta Mondays or Meta Drop Mondays, where we discuss MetaZone updates. And then we talk about the architects. We talk about new metas being submitted, and we have this whole thing. And eventually we'll get Corona Zombies going. So the people who earn the meta will be battling out every Monday on Corona Zombies land. So thank you for joining, and we will be back at the same time next week on the Rovi call on Thursdays at 10 p.m. UTC. All right, guys, we will see you next week.
Hey, guys.